Lady in the Drink. This week we are going to be making a cocktail from the Prohibition era called Between the Sheets. So this is fairly simple. It is 4 ingredients this time. We have 3 different types of alcohol going in here. We have equal parts of all the booze, which is nice and easy. So we've got 3/4 of an ounce of white rum, 3/4 of an ounce of cognac, 3/4 of an ounce of orange liqueur, and then 1/2 ounce of lemon juice. So originally I think this cocktail was built with 1 to 1 to 1, so 1 ounce of each of them, but that's a lot of booze, and from what my research has yielded, it's just a more palatable cocktail if we just scale that down a little bit. So before we get started, I've got to squeeze my lemons, so I'm going to squeeze them straight into my tin and do this one. So we need 1/2 ounce, which might be as little as 1/2 lemon if you have juicy ones. This feels like it's got quite a thick skin, so really thick, as you can see from how hard that was to squeeze. But oh, it smells. Sometimes you know how smells can just take you somewhere and just, okay, I think I'm a complete lunatic, but the smell of that skin of that lemon cracking just took me back to the south of France, like I was there. Crazy. That's quite nice at the moment because none of us can travel. When you do come across something that reminds you of somewhere that you can't be, it's quite nostalgic. All right, let's see if that is the right amount. So 1/2 ounce of this. Yeah. That's looking good. And in terms of the excess, we'll get to that. So then let's do 3/4 of, perhaps say 1.5. If we did 1.5 ounces of each of these, we would be extremely drunk indeed. And I've not even had lunch yet, so that's probably not the best idea. Should just rename this channel Alex drinking really strong drinks before lunchtime on weekdays. Very sensible. 3/4 of an ounce of cognac. So for those of you who know your cocktails, you'll see that this is quite similar to another cocktail called a Sidecar, which is a bit like a brandy version of a margarita. So the only difference really is the fact that we're adding rum to this. So it's like Sidecar but with more booze. This supposedly got its name Between the Sheets, which in the 1930s was a very risque name for your cocktail, which to us now with the slippery nipple and all those other horrific names would probably seem very tame, but back then this was extreme. And I've got a bit of lemon juice left in here, so I'm just gonna pour it back out into here. The joys of making things on camera. So we're gonna go in with the usual 1 big boy, 1 small guy, and we're gonna shake this. And I just have this bizarre feeling that I've forgotten something, but I'm pretty sure I put all 3 of these in. So, and the lemon juice, we're good. So it's just gonna be the usual as far as shaking goes, about 15 to 20 seconds until the tin is frosty and cold. Okay, so we've got the frost test, which I've just invented. And I've chosen, oh, it smells incredible. I've chosen a Nicanora glass with a nod to the fact that this was invented in the 1930s. So Nicanora glasses were named after this novel that was written in 1934. I think it was called The Thin Man, about a husband and wife detective couple called Nicanora, and they were always out around town drinking cocktails, and hence the glass being named after them. So if you had gone with the full proportions of 1 ounce for each of these, you'd probably get a slightly better, I think it's a wash line, in your glass, but you know, we're not looking to get hammered here, we're looking to enjoy our spirits in a sophisticated manner. So without further ado, let's give it a sniff and a taste. Cheers. It smells wonderful. It smells rich, and you've got the citrus which is brightening it, but that cognac really it smells It smells classy. I don't know how else to say it. It smells like a good time. I'd maybe dial down the lemon juice a little bit. A lot of people were saying that it was a very sweet concoction with this amount of booze, but yeah, I think I'm going to tweak those quantities a little bit for the recipe that I end up putting on the screen and in the description box. I think I'd either up the booze or lower the lemon juice. You know what? I think we would go with the 1 to 1 to 1 and then the half an ounce. I'm going to settle on that. So apparently we are here to get hammered. No, it's from a flavour perspective, I would definitely say that just a little hint more sweetness, probably from a bit more of the orange liqueur would be nice against that. But it's lovely. It tastes. I don't know whether I just got the Riviera on the brain, but it reminds me of being sat on holiday in Cannes in the south of France, just lapping up some sunshine, sipping on a cocktail, eating a few nuts. I like that a lot. So as far as the history goes, pretty simple. Harry MacElhone, I think I've mentioned him before. He was a bartender from Dundee. Originally, he invented this at his bar in Paris, Harry's Bar. It was invented in the 30s, which in the US would have been prohibition time. And it was thought to be a naughty drink because it had so much alcohol in it. Back then, it was thought if you combined like more than one type of spirit, so you have rum and cognac, that was like very naughty, and you were just gonna end up between the sheets with who knows, whoever you were next to in the bar that night. So that's where the name comes from. Please drink responsibly and do not end up between the sheets with random people after drinking this, and I will see you next time. Cheers.